Yeah, we need to tape when there's going to be like 50 people in the room, but this is not the time of year that there's typically 50 people in the room. I think it was causing confusion because not all mats are the same size, so people didn't like quite fit in the lines. Great teaching of yoga. It should be muted. It is muted. What about when you go to OBS? Do you get a read on OBS on the Rode mic? Yeah. And everything else should be muted? Okay, yeah. I'll also see when I get it up on here. Oh, it's 10:31. Oh my gosh. I do want to do some announcements. They're behind you. Thank you. Not on the announcements clipboard is we'll be starting out on Race Street Pier again soon. 'Tis the season for summer yoga flow on Race Street Pier. I don't know when that starts, but feels like it's like going to be Gemini season this week, so soon probably. If you like that stuff, keep an eye out for that. Oh yeah, it's on the website, Wellness on the Waterfront. This is what I was looking for. So on Friday night, the 24th, we have the Kinder USA talk with Sama. You can join us to hear from our very dear community member, Sama, about the vital work she's been doing with Kinder USA. She grew up in Lebanon as a Palestinian refugee and came to the States 22 years ago. She recently finished her PhD in political science at UPenn and is teaching there and has been fundraising for Kinder USA for more than 10 years. It's free to attend, and if you'd like to donate, you can do so, and 100% of proceeds will go to Kinder USA that's working. Our fundraising efforts will go directly to getting food and medical supplies to children and mother figures in Gaza. And on Mother's Day, we launched our fundraising efforts, and the studio is going to match up to $1,000, and y'all surpassed $1,000, so thank you so much. It's such a testament to what a community like with privilege and proximity to privilege can collectivize and do as a group. So hopefully that helps us load one truck and get a truck in on the days that the trucks can get in. This is from the Egypt side. So, and just to like add to that, we don't have a business that has a profitability where we can like donate a percentage of profits to organizations because we actually don't have profits. Someday. But I love that we just are a community that is by and large resourced, and even if it's like your resources are $5 or $500, when we put them together, we co-create impact. And we've been doing this for years for organizations that help with immigration and folks seeking asylum, for animals, for the bail fund for mothers who are incarcerated, getting them bailed out. There's so many organizations that are in need of resources, and if you're involved with any organization that has a fundraising goal and we can contribute to that fundraising effort, we've done cancer as well, like reach out. I'm always happy to teach a class where we can collectivize our resources and do something together, because like what else can we do? And if you do other things, that's great, bravo. Like, thank you for all you do. And I always end class with that because it's not lost on me that we're householders. Thank you all for all that you can do and do on whatever different fronts you're doing them on. Like, all positive impact is positive impact. And if we can help and contribute as a community in some way, please reach out. So that's happening this Friday. Super excited to see Sama. And then we're talking about June. Exploring the Brahma Viharas through yoga and meditation with Lee, Journey to the Heart. That's a 4-week series on Monday nights in June from 6 to 7:30. If you're familiar with the Brahma Viharas, but it's been a while, come join us. And if you're not familiar, learning about the Brahma Viharas will be a beautiful practice that you can return to for the rest of your life. These are about the divine abodes that reside within us, and they give us destinations within the self that we can abide in to bring more virtuosity to ourselves and those in the world around us. So it's a wonderful practice. I hope you can join us. Kids Yoga Fun Night with Sarah, Saturday, June 8th. Harmonious Healing Sound Bath Meditation with Elizabeth Zach on Sunday, June 9th at 6:45. I believe that's available for members. Get Upside Down Inversions with Larry, Friday, June 14th at 6:30. And Yoga and Tabla with Anisha and her wonderful father, Nadine, on Friday, June 21st, 6:30 to 8. So much fun coming up. I also feel like it's not on here, but June, I always consider block party season where we live. Yeah, so we usually like to have some block-tastic with Alex. I think that's happening. Not sure why it's not on here, but when you mix Alex and yoga props, your mind will be blown and you'll find, again, new realms in your body that you didn't know existed. Don't know the date, but inside information, I'm pretty sure that's happening.
For the classes on Friday, is there like an extra cost associated, or are they included?
Some of them are included in membership and some aren't. Usually depends, so good to check. Yeah, a lot of stuff is included in membership. Anyone else have any announcements? Okay, well, we have a full moon in Sagittarius on Thursday. I like that sound effect. I wish I could record that. And the full moon is not so much about sort of setting new intentions. That's what new moons are good for. Like, where's my phone? Where's the music coming from? Would you mind grabbing my phone? I just went over there to grab that, and I grabbed this. They're both blue. I am going to light the candles. So being off coffee is like. It's a great time for shedding and releasing. Thank you. Are we lost? Is that what it said?
No, I was trying to make this be quiet, and then it said workout paused.
Oh, no. Unpause. We're working out. Yeah. I thought she said we're kind of lost. I'm like, yeah, tell me about it. Has anyone experimented with the new ChatGPT feature? Okay, we'll talk about that later. I was telling my kids bedtime stories. Let AI do it. So this is a great week to really focus on shedding and releasing, and particularly the internal crap that gets in the way. So my hope is that I can, in the process, think of some poses that might push us up against some of that internal crap, and that there will be an invitation there to rather engage, or like we're pretty enmeshed with our own internal. If you don't like the word crap, it's like insert whatever suits you, stuff, and just in regard to the internal crap or stuff, let me just be clear. Some of that can be released and must be shed and let go of, and some of it, those are like files that are on the hard drive. Like, we don't ever get to fully delete those files. And so there's certain times of year that it's really good that we learn how to have healthy relationships with the shadow. Like, we do shadow work so that we can have healthier relationships and better intimacy with the shadow that lives inside of us. And not all of the shadow is undeletable. Like, some of it, we know it's time to go. It's like cleaning out the back of the fridge. If you've been with me for a while, some people used to request those classes. I want like a clean out the back of the fridge class. That's what we're doing today. What is the like deep, yucky stuff that's maybe been rotting or festering that it's time to let go of? And this could be internal self-talk. This can be external relationships that for whatever reason we don't want to let go of. And it could be relationships to people or objects or tendencies. You know you. And just think that this week is like an optimal time to not get caught up in it, but just to like invite it out, let it out, okay? That the alignments are on your side for letting go. Woo-woo, woo-woo alert, here we go. Take as comfortable a seat as humanly possible for you in this moment. If you're new, I don't think anyone's new. I'm Mariel, this is Melissa. I lead, she helps. We both will be around the room to help. Let us know what you need and we can bring it to you. Everything I offer is an invitation, not an obligation, so please feel free to take it or leave it, to find your pace and notice what suits you. That is fluency in yoga. Allow your eyes to soften, and if it suits you, close your eyes. This is a gesture of turning inward in order to see more clearly. And as you turn within, look for your breath. And as you locate the breath within the light of awareness, notice how naturally the breath begins to deepen and expand. The entire physical practice of yoga is first and foremost in service to the breath. The breath is the life force energy, the source of vitality that enlivens us, surrounds us, and connects us to each other and all that is. And so this particular style of yoga in service to the breath is about aligning ourselves, engaging ourselves, and stretching ourselves through aligned engagement in ways that are designed to enhance and optimize our capacity for breath, vitality, and life, so that we have more good energy to live life more deeply and more fully. So that we have more energy to live life more deeply and more fully. This practice is to give us the good energy needed to live life more deeply and more fully. And as these words land in the fabric of conscious embodiment, a moment to consider, to contemplate if there's anything you're consciously aware of that gets in the way, that could be moved out, released, in order to allow this energy to flow more deeply, more fully, and more freely in you, as you, through you. Does anything drag you down? Anything that you could consciously release in order to feel lighter and freer? And then, of course, allow this to work on even the subconscious and unconscious realms of your being. If you've been practicing for a long time, there's some direct experience of the ways in which this practice profoundly works on what isn't quite seen or fully known by consciousness. So allow yourself to be sensitive and receptive to that depth of transformation. A slow, deep breath in through the nose into the seat, into your ground of being. From there, let the breath fill you all the way up. And then a slow exhale through the nose. Centering yourself in relationship to the breath, 3 more of the deepest, fullest breaths that require the least amount of effort to allow the breath to flow through the nose in both directions. And then a large part of the practice is continuing to breathe in this way through the nose, slowly, deeply, smoothly, throughout the entirety of the practice. Of course, the connection to the breath as we practice comes and goes, as many factors and aspects of the beings are churned up in the ocean of consciousness, and the practice becomes the returning, the consistent return to the breath, to the energy that enlivens us and connects us to each other and all that is. On your next inhale, bring your hands together before the heart in Anjali Mudra. It's a gesture of sincere self-reverence that acknowledges the voice of the true teacher, never further than your heart, which is never further than the breath. The breath ignites the heart and the splendor of the heart, informs, illuminates, and inspires your mind and your body. Here in this gift of conscious embodiment, we have an opportunity here and now together to align ourselves engage ourselves and move and stretch ourselves through aligned engagement in service to the breath, which turns us into the heart, to the voice of the true teacher. We place this aspect of ourselves before us as a guide for this time, and we'll set the tone by sharing the voices of our hearts and the sound of an Om. Please feel to join in the sound or let it wash over you. Deep breath in. Bow to your heart, always present, intrinsically peaceful, utterly powerful, and keeping this connection to the source of supreme love unwavering. You can release your hands, blink open your eyes, and let's come on to all fours to start in a tabletop position. And as you come into a tabletop position, pad the knees as needed with a blanket. Come to your forearms if your wrists feel tender. And just a reminder that your practice is in service to yourself. So please modify, take rest, push, pull back as needed. You're driving. This is your practice. And fluency in yoga is about knowing and doing what is appropriate for you. Look for the breath. And just as you are in stillness, find a breath in through the nose, trace it in, take it to heart, and a breath out through the nose from the heart in all directions. Press through the fingertips. Big breath in again. Let it fill you up into the sides and back of the waist. And as you exhale, round your back like a cat. Pause at the top and maybe wriggle a little bit from side to side. And as you inhale, arch your back. It's called cow stretch. And wriggle from side to side, like shoulder to hip, shoulder to hip. Exhale to round. Pause at the top for a wriggle in each direction. Inhale, cat-cow, wriggle a bit in each direction. And now linking breath and movement like that in the ways that feel good. You can take an extra cycle of breath on both sides of the stretch, becoming more consciously aware of what you feel, how it feels, where you feel it. Oops. And then come into a more neutral spine position and walk your hands all the way up to the top corners of your mat. All the way up to the top corners of your mat, and send your hips towards your heels for puppy stretch, puppy pose. Here, the movement is more of an action. It's more subtle. As you inhale, claw the fingertips, lift your armpits up. And as you exhale, soften between the shoulder blades, the heart melts towards the earth. Inhale, claw the fingertips back, the armpits lift. Exhale, soften between the shoulder blades. One more breath. Inhale to pull forward to table, and exhale to downward facing dog. In your downward dog, pedal the feet a little bit from side to side. Stretch through the soles of the feet and the backs of the legs. Again, starting to notice more consciously what can't be seen, but can be felt. Claw through the fingertips. Hug your hands towards each other. Feel the arms ignite. And draw energy from the earth, from the fingertips, up the arms, all the way up the arms. Trace it into the heart center. And then from the heart center, root down through the arms with so much force that you could imagine the force with which an oak tree could split a city sidewalk. And the more you root through the arms, the more you can actually lift up through your hips. Lift your heels high, lift your hips high. Bend your knees a lot more. And I know this is counterintuitive, but by bending the knees towards the earth, can you push through your arms and lift your hips higher? And then with the hips as the highest point, press the thigh bones to the sky to straighten the legs. Think thigh bones more up than back. And then spread the toes and ground the heels towards the earth. Let the breath flow deeply, fully, freely through every aspect of your being. On your next inhale, float the right leg to the sky. And as you exhale, catch your lunge. On the inhale, reach the arms up. On your exhale, on an exhale, push off the back foot to stand tall, and your right hand will hold your left wrist. Reach up and over to the right for a standing crescent. Ground through your left leg. Breathe into your left waistline. So this part of the left waistline that we're breathing into, I consider that like a back corner of the fridge. Push into the outer edge of your left foot. Take your hips as far to the left as you can as you reach through the arms as far to the right as you can. Inhale through center. Exhale, fingertips touch the earth. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit deep. Fingertips come to the floor or blocks in front of you. Lean into your fingertips as you press your thighs back. Step your left foot back to lunge. Spin the left heel to the ground and bring your right forearm to your right thigh and reach your left arm overhead. Pause, feel both feet on the ground. Walk your back foot back like a half an inch and then bend deeper in your front leg. And with your bottom arm, guide the front knee more open and look for the same kind of action as standing through the back foot, lifting the hips up as you reach the left fingertips overhead, sort of press the left fingertips up and I don't want to say up and down, that doesn't make sense, but reach out through the left fingertips and then sort of press the left palm into like an imaginary shelf towards the floor and slide the ribs back, bend the front leg deeper, guide the front knee open, one more breath. Exhale, touch the floor, downward facing dog. Breathe, feel, notice the difference, if any, from side to side. Can bend the knees deep, claw the fingertips, push through the arms to launch through the hips, and then push your thigh bones up to the sky. The heels will be high as you push through the arms, and then at the hips high, ground through the heels. Find the breath. On the inhale, float your left leg to the sky. With your exhale, catch a lunge. Inhale, reach up. Find your breath. On an exhale, push off your back foot, big step forward. Left hand holds the right wrist. Reach up and over to the left as you ground through the right foot. Press through the outer edge of the right foot. Send the hips far to the right as you reach up, out, and over to the left. Inhale, rise up through center. Exhale, bend the legs deep. Fingertips touch the floor. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit low. Fingertips to the floor or blocks out in front. Lean into your fingertips to press your thigh bones back. Inhale, reach the heart forward and up. Exhale, fold, and step your right foot back to lunge. Back heel to the earth. This is your second side, yeah? Left forearm to left thigh, right arm overhead. Push into the right foot. Maybe walk your right foot back a tiny bit just to stretch your stance. And as you push into your back foot, the top of the front thigh descends. Use your left arm to guide the left knee more open. And as you reach out through the right fingertips, imagine your right palm is on a shelf. Push that shelf towards the floor and pull the ribs back. Push through your back foot. Top of the front thigh descends. Guide the knee open. One more breath. Exhale, touch the floor. Downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. Notice any newfound space. Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. And notice the ways in which the technology of the physical yoga allows the breath more depth, more fullness, more freedom in you as you through you. On an inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, catch the lunge. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, big step forward to balance. Cross ankle over thigh. Flex the left foot. Sit deep into chair pose. Breathe again into what can't be seen but can be felt. Think butt back and down, heart forward and up. Maybe slide the biceps alongside the ears. Inhale, stand tall, both feet on the ground. Right hand holds the left wrist, reach up and over to the right. Hips way to the left. And as you ground through the left foot, stretch through the left waistline, the left arms. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend the legs, fingertips touch the floor. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fingertips to the floor. Press the thighs back. Inhale, the heart forward. Exhale, fold, step the left foot back to lunge. Spin the back heel to the earth. Inhale for warrior two. Reach back through the left fingertips, and then let the top of the front thigh descend. And as you squeeze the front heel in, guide the front knee open. If you want more big if, walk the back heel back, push into your back foot, let the top of the front thigh descend deeper than ever. It's like a back of one of those drawers in the fridge. Touch the floor, downward facing dog. Feel, notice. And then my hope is, and you determine in a kind inner voice that we just did a hip opener on the right side. And when we effectively open that right hip, you should feel some shift through the entirety, some access, awareness through the whole right leg. On your inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, push off your back foot to balance, cross ankle over thigh, flex that foot, and sit deep into pigeon chair. A hip opener. Notice what you feel, how it feels, where you feel it. Breathing through the nose, deeply and fully. Inhale to rise. Exhale, stand through the foot. Left hand holds the right wrist, reach up and over to the left. Send all your weight into your right leg. Sway the hips to the right. Reach out of the right waistline over to the left. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, fingertips touch the floor. Stay deep in the legs as you inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sit deeper. Fingertips to the floor or blocks in front of you. Lean into the fingertips, press the thighs back. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold, step the right foot back to lunge. Back heel to the ground. Inhale for warrior two. Front knee directly over the ankle. And notice if your front knee or toes are turning in or out. I'm actually noticing a lot of front feet turning out, like the toes are turning out a little bit too much. So don't change anything in your toes, but very carefully lift your front heel a tiny bit, and everyone can do that even if you don't have the foot turning out, and lower your heel a little wider to the left. More, okay, now pause there, and without moving it, squeeze the heel in, guide the knee open, reach back through your right fingertips, stand through your back leg, and now let the top of the front thigh descend deeper than ever. Exhale, touch the floor, downward dog. Breath ignites the heart. Heart illuminates the mind and the body. Here in this gift of embodiment, linking breath and movement. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower just the knees. Get to the fleshy part of the knees right above, like base of the thigh. Shrug the shoulders, look forward. And now here's the key. As you exhale, we're going to take the hips forward and down and bend the elbows, the bare minimum, to get your hips and pelvis to the floor. So you land right in cobra. Point the feet, claw the fingertips towards the feet, flick the toenails down, slide the palate back. Press the hands down, in, and back. One more breath. Exhale, downward dog. On your inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, big step forward to balance on the right foot. Flex your left foot. Right hand comes outside the right knee. Comes outside the left knee. There we go, I'll mirror. Press the hand into the knee and the knee into the hand. Can you feel that? Press the leg into the hand and the hand into the leg. You can stay right here or reach your left arm behind you. Turn your gaze to the left. Inhale to center, plant the foot, right hand holds the left wrist, reach up and over to the right. Ground through your left foot, send your hips way to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend the legs, fingertips touch the earth. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit deep. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, fold over your legs. Bow to your heart. Step your left foot back to lunge. Spin your back heel to the ground. Inhale, warrior two. Face you. So again, look at your front foot, and if the toes are slightly turned out, lift your heel and take your heel wider. Now squeeze the heel in, guide the knee open, bend deeper. Reverse the warrior. And we're going for that same crescent side stretch. The left fingertip slide down the left shin. The top of the front thigh descends as you guide the knee open. And as you root through your front heel, reach up and out through your right fingertips. And imagine your right hand reaching up to a top shelf. And like you're going to pull that top shelf down to the ground. Push the front leg straight, change nothing. Keep reaching up and back and down. Inhale through center. Exhale, right fingertips to the floor or a block. Triangle pose. As you inhale, let the belly expand like a balloon. And as you exhale, let the belly soften and contract. Slide the shoulders back. Look at your front foot and take your gaze more towards your little toe to bring your head more in line with your spine. And then keeping that, look straight ahead. Exhale, pass through lunge. Downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. Notice what you feel. Feel what you notice. Find your breath. On the inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, catch the lunge. Inhale, reach up. And on an exhale, spring forward. Balance on your left foot. Left hand comes outside the right leg. And just pause right here and press your leg into your hand and your hand into your leg. And you should feel like an access to a connection to the depth of your center. When you press hand into leg and leg into hand, where does that refer you internally? And you can stay right here, look straight ahead, and keep pressing yourself into yourself for a deeper connection inward. If you feel steady, reach the right arm to the back of the room, gaze to the brick wall. If it's appropriate, you can look back past your back fingertips, but keep pressing hand into leg, leg into hand. Inhale to center, stand through the right foot, reach through the left arm. This way, yeah. Left hand for right wrist, reach up and over to the left. Send hips to the right. Push into the right leg. Breathe into the depth of that right waistline. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the legs, fingertips tap the earth. Keep that depth in the legs as you reach upward, high to the sky. Exhale, how low can you go? Ground through the heels, inhale, stand tall. Exhale, fold over the legs, bow to the heart. On your inhale, reach the heart center forward and up. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back to the lunge. Back heel to the ground. Inhale for warrior two. Lift the heel, take it wider, and then without moving it, squeeze it back in. You feel that? Reach back through your right fingertips. Right fingertips reach down the right shin, reach the left arm up and back. And like the left arm obviously connects into the shoulder socket, but imagine a line of energy from the left fingertips all the way into the left hip socket. And the top of the left thigh, root it towards the left heel. And then from that same joint, reach up through the left waistline, out through the left fingertips like you're reaching for a top shelf, and you're gonna pull the shelf down to the ground. In, Exhale, left fingertips to the floor or a block. Let the knees be soft, even if the legs are straight. Or when the legs are straight, can you still find softness in your knees? Inhale through the nose, let the belly get big, three-dimensionally, fill up. And as you exhale, let the belly soften. Smooth out the breath. Notice what can't be seen, but can be felt. Is it okay to touch? You okay there? Yeah. Downward facing dog. Notice any newfound space, any tension starting to melt away, dissolve. The tension certainly tends to cause limitations, and when we dissolve, release the tension, the vitality that the breath offers flows more deeply and fully and freely in us as is through us. Linking breath and movement, inhale to plank. Lower right above the knees to the ground. As you exhale, bend the elbows the bare minimum to bring the pelvis forward and down. Point the feet, claw the fingertips towards the feet. Slide the palate, the roof of the mouth, sort of press it back. And on an exhale, downward dog. On an inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Spin the back heel to the ground and just rest your torso on your front thigh and find your strap. And take the strap behind the back. The backs of your hands and wrists could be about hips width apart. Elbows bent, draw the shoulder blades together. Lift the front heel up and lower it a little bit wider, and then squeeze the front heel in, guide the front knee open, bend the front leg deeper. Push into your back leg as you reach the arms back and up. You can stay right here or fold inside the front leg, crown to the earth, and reach the arms to the sky. Little bend in the elbows as you reach up through the arms and pull the strap apart. And if you want more, as you hug the shoulder blades together and tug on the strap, press your forearms towards the floor overhead for humble warrior. Push into your back foot and press the forearms towards the floor, bend the front leg deeper, squeeze the heel in, one more breath. Exhale, release the strap, spin the back heel up, downward dog. Left foot through to lunge. Lower the back knee down, pad as needed. Anyone else, does that fall in the category of one of your least favorite poses? It's one of my least favorite. I don't think anyone's that new here, but you don't get that one a lot here from me. Every now and then, it's like you take it out of the back of the fridge and you're like, some things last forever in there. And don't need to be opened often, like a jar of pickles. That's a humble warrior for me. Find your blocks and bring them inside your front foot. I'm not so eager to go right into the second side on that. Pad the back knee, bend the back leg. We just did a huge opener on this hip. Right hand for right foot. You can stay right here. If you want more, come more upright. Can stay right here. Again, big if, maybe, maybe. Left hand for right foot. Activate that right foot and reach your right arm to the sky. So we're in mega psoas land now. Your psoas is the deepest core muscle group that literally holds you together top to bottom, front to back. You're gonna press the back knee down and forward. Push that palm forward like there's a wall there. You're trying to push a boundary. Push the wall through the right palm and slide the ribs up and back. And now as you anchor through the base of the right thigh, reach your right fingertips over to the left. Slide the ribs back. Reach through the right fingertips. Whew. Exhale, right hand to the block. Release the back foot. Lift the back knee. downward dog. Okay. Now, metaphorically, is there like a back corner of your body as a refrigerator? Think like refrigerators are about preservation. A good physical practice of yoga is about longevity and self-preservation. So you have like a health span in life. Does one back corner of this refrigerator kind of sparkle and shine now? Maybe. Okay, we'll take the left foot through to lunge. If you're not already aware of what's coming, it's called humble warrior. We're going to spin the back heel to the ground and just begin by resting the torso on your left thigh. In and guide the left knee open. Take the strap behind your back about hips width apart, backs of the hands on the outer hips. Draw the shoulder blades together. Push into your back foot. If you're locking in the back knee, you don't really get full access to that leg. So unlock the knee and push into the foot. Reach your arms up to the sky and tug on the strap. You can stay right here if you want more. Bow inside your front leg and reach the arms to the sky. Push into your back foot. Squeeze your back heel in. Bend the front leg deeper as you reach your arms to the sky. And finally, push into the back foot. Maybe forearms fall towards the floor overhead. Push into your back leg, squeeze the front heel in, guide the front knee open, bend the elbows, tug the strap, and reach forearms towards the floor. One more breath. Exhale to release. Spin the back heel up. Step back through dog. Feel and notice. Push through the arms, lift through the hips. Maybe even like lift the heels, bend the legs a lot. Push through the arms to lift through the hips, then press your thigh bones to the sky and your heels to the ground. And is that a little different, a little more spacious? We're going to take the right foot through to lunge. Lower the back knee down. Pad as needed with a blanket. Or also, Yesenia had this genius idea recently. If you have an old yoga mat at home, you can cut a square out of it for padding and like have yourself a little extra accessory. Companies sell that, little squares of yoga mats. But if you've been doing yoga for a long time, you probably have an extra mat at home. So we'll bring our hands to the blocks inside the front foot. Pad that back knee up. And then bend the back leg, and with your left hand, find your left foot. And you can stay right here. And the tendency is for like all the junk in the left hip inside body sort of weigh us down to the ground. We've done a lot of opening and freeing there. We want this left thigh to move back into the hip socket now, to the back corner of the fridge. And then maybe come more upright. Maybe right hand reaches for the left foot. And I don't know about you, but like the door of my fridge, all those shelves, like every condiment imaginable, like tried one time. Such a weird tendency. So we're gonna do the left side body as like the shelves on the fridge door. Reach up and breathe into the left waistline. Press the left knee down and forward, and then from the left hip, reach up and over to the right. Slide the ribs back and reach through the left fingertips to the right. And breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. Think left hip towards the left heel, right hip towards the right heel, ribs to the spine, head back, biceps back, and then left fingertips to the floor, and downward dog. Like yuzu ponzu sauce. What is that for? For everything. Yeah, and then it's like you open it, you're like, this is good. This could go on everything. Didn't know that was there. And lasts a long time. We're going right leg through to pigeon prep now. We have done a lot of warming up for pigeon prep, so check it out. Take your time. We'll bring the blocks high in front of us to start. Tuck the back toes, pad the back knee, give yourself the padding, orient yourself to the padding. And now with the hands on blocks, we're gonna take, I kind of wanna show this so you can maybe see it or see someone who can see it. We're gonna take the block inside, and this foot could be anywhere from, right foot could be near the left groin to in line with the knee or anywhere in between, wherever it is. We're gonna take a block to touch the front foot, and then we're gonna push the big toe ball mound of that foot into the block so that the heel lifts up. So that the foot has something to push into. And then we're gonna pull the knees towards each other and wrap the right hip forward and pull the left hip back. So that outer right heel is lifting because you're pushing the big toe ball mound into the block. And ditch the blocks. Take it back to three-legged dog. Lift the right armpit high. Lift the left armpit high. Open the right leg, open the hip, bend the right leg, and push through the right heel. Lift the left armpit up, up, up to like you're trying to touch the ear, not ear to armpit, armpit to ear, and push through the right heel. Inhale the leg long, square the hips. Exhale, downward dog. Feel the support of the earth. And then we'll take the left side through to pigeon prep. And find your blocks high in front of you. Have your back knee in line with the back hip. And again, the front foot could be anywhere from like close to the back. The front foot could be close to the back hip to more at a 90-degree angle with the front knee, anywhere in between. But wherever it is, the tendency is for like the outer ankle to kind of drop down. And that creates like a closure in the hip. So we want to open that up. We're going to place the block to touch the foot and then push the big toe ball mound into the block. Yes, and then the outer ankle and heel should lift. And that opens that front hip. Pull the knees towards each other and keep pushing the big toe ball mound into the block. It's a little toe getting smushed. Gently release. Downward dog. Feel, notice, breathe. We're going to take the right foot to a lunge. Lower the back knee down. Walk your right foot towards your left hand and bring a block outside your front foot. And then lower your shin onto the block. It's called, I've heard it called turbo pigeon. I don't think that is an ancient name of a pose. Get more weight on the outer edge of the back knee. Find your find your block with your right hand. Let's climb the left hand onto the block in front and take the the right hand outside the right thigh. More weight on the outer edge of the back foot. And maybe inch the back knee back so that the inner thigh and outer thigh are sort of rooting towards the earth. And now the next one, y'all, is a big if. Maybe bend the back leg, right hand for right foot. Get mega psoas land. Flex the right foot. I'm getting my lefts and rights mixed up, I'm sorry. Flex the front foot. And release. Downward dog. Okay, we're just going to do the next side and then we're going to check in. Left foot through to lunge. Back knee to the ground, pad with a blanket if needed. Walk your front foot to the right. Place the block outside your left foot. Spin this around. And then lower your shin onto the block. You just transition as carefully and gracefully as possible. So your shin is propped up on the block. Flex that front foot, flex it. Rest the shin on the block. Walk your back knee to the midline a little bit and get a little more weight on the outer edge of the back knee. And you can stay here with the shin propped up, the top of the thigh towards the earth. You can even like take a thumb and sort of hook the thumb into the outer hip crease and help it anchor down, yeah? And maybe bend the back leg. Totally optional. Use your props to support you for the thigh stretch. Notice if there's a difference from side to side, for better or for worse, and kind of laugh in the face of whoever thought it was a good idea to put these two sides together, like a toddler fitting wrong puzzle pieces together. Gently release. Downward dog. Find your breath. The breath feeds the heart. The nature and spirit of the heart feed the mind. And as the mind more clearly reflects the heart, it in turn feeds the body in order for the body to more clearly reveal the heart. Lift the heels, lower the knees. Take your knees outer hips width apart. The big toes just barely come to touch. And then send your hips back to your heels for child's pose. Child's pose is uncomfortable for you. Just come to lay on your belly in full pranam. Stretch your legs out long and make a pillow with your hands, resting on your belly. Find the breath and feel the breath more in the sides and back of your waist. Stretching the light of awareness into the back body, the side of the self that is easily and often overlooked. Inhale to table. Exhale to downward dog. Walk your feet a little bit forward and walk your hands a little bit back. Meet yourself in the center. Interlace your hands behind your head and let the elbows point towards the shins. There could be a little bend in the legs. And as the elbows point towards the shins, suck the armpits in, feel the shoulder blades come together on the back. And now start to press your head into your hands. And as you press your head into your hands, you feel your torso lifting up and back. All the way to standing. Hands interlaced, press the palms up. Press the index finger side up and pull the little finger down. As you reach up, take the palms to the right, ground through the left leg, sway the hips to the left. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms to the left. Push through the index fingers as you sway your hips to the right, ground through the right foot. Inhale to center. Exhale, spread the arms. And shake it out. How do your legs feel? We okay? Drink some water. If you need water, we'll get you some. Just let us know. Okay. Does everyone have a bolster? Okay, we'll bring you a bolster. Melissa, will you bring around a couple bolsters? We don't need it just yet, but raise your hand if you need a bolster and we'll bring you one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Come to the middle of your mat and take your heels about hips width apart and turn your toes out. And then bend your legs. You can bring your hands to your thighs above your knees. And we just want to make sure that the inner knee is sort of tracking towards the 4th and 5th toe. And you can place the backs of the hands right inside the inner thighs and gently press the hands into the legs and hug the legs into the hand. Legs into hands, hands into legs. Take your pubic bone back, stick your butt out. See how you can bend deeper? And maybe bring the elbows in there. And press the elbows out into the legs and gently hug the legs into the elbows. Take the pubic bone back, 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 butt back, And now anchor through your sitting bones. Can you sit deeper? How low can you go? Malasana. If you feel stuck, try taking your heels wider and then your toes wider. Take a wider stance and see if you might get in a little deeper. Now reach the fingertips to the floor in front of you. Lean into your fingertips and lift your butt up to the sky. Parallel your feet, hands to hips. Stand up. Malasana. Ground through the heels. Bring your heels a little closer. So now maybe the toes of the feet are more hips width apart and the heels are a little more narrow. Bend the legs. Knees again go in the same direction as the toes. That's really critical for your knees. You always want your knees tracking in line with your toes, especially if you have knee stuff or to prevent knee stuff. Sometimes the toes go out and the knees knock in, or the toes go in and the knees knock out. Really try to track your knees in line with your toes. It's just general good practice in whatever you're doing. And backs of the hands right above the knees, inner thighs. Press the hands out. Hug the legs in. Sit a little deeper. Think butt back. Maybe get those elbows in there. And then press the elbows out. Hug the legs in. How low can you go? And you just breathe at your edge. Try to keep your heels down at first. Yep, butt up, heels down, and think pubic bone back, sitting bones down. And now fingertips reach to the floor. Lean into your fingertips, lift through your butt. Bring your toes together like feet so that your feet are parallel. Climb your hands to your hips and stand up tall. Shake it out. Y'all are gonna be pooping good this week, I hope. Release the internal crab. Anyway, maybe, maybe not, but in theory, that's what this is good for. Let's bring the heels to touch. Bend the legs. Press the outer palms into the inner thighs and hug the inner thighs into the outer palms. You might stay right here and go pubic bone back, butt back, buttock flesh, sitting bones down. Maybe get those elbows in there. Curl into yourself. Think ribs back. Press the elbows out. Hug the legs in. How low can you go? Oy. Fingertips can come to the floor in front. Can you lean into your fingertips? Lift your butt up. Bring your toes together. Heels together. Little bend in the legs. Climb hands to hips. Stand up tall. And shake it out. Take your feet outer hips width apart. Hopefully this is a little easier now where we started. Turn your toes out. So the heels are about hips width apart, toes turned out. Bend the legs. Bring your elbows inside your thighs. Press the elbows out, hug the legs, and squat for Malasana. Press your arms into your legs, lift through your heart. Nice. Exhale, lower your tush down. Stretch your legs out. Give a little shake. Just give a little counter pose. So you shake your legs out and then bend the legs in just until the soles of the feet come to the floor. Knees and toes point straight ahead. Take your palms behind you. Point your palms towards your feet and draw the shoulders up and back. Stand through your feet to lift your hips up for upward facing table. Press the hands down and out. Press the feet down and forward. Root through the arms and legs as you belly breathe. On the exhale, lower the hips. Stretch your legs out long. Manually widen your butt cheeks. You can sit up on the edge of your blanket or your bolster if you like for this. We're just going to do our little hip flexor conditioning. So find a block and take it outside the right shin. And then your hands can come to fingertips behind you to help you sit tall, especially if this is new for you. You're going to want to give yourself support here and give yourself like grace and mercy if this is new to you. There's not much we do in yoga for strengthening hip flexors. I'm curious about Pilates for this actually. That's a cross training that makes us much stronger here. Yoga focuses a lot on opening this because it tends to be tight and weak But once it's optimally aligned, we want to strengthen here as well. If you've been doing this with me a long time, you might try hands to heart center. We're going to tap the heel in outside and inside the block 10 times. And like 10-ish. Ish kind of just means that number-ish according to you. Ish. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, shake it out. We'll do the second side. Block outside the left shin. And again, be like mindfully aware if there's a difference from side to side. And if so, like what is the difference? Manually widen the butt cheek, pubic bone, fingertips behind you for support in sitting up tall here, or hands to heart centered, 10-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake it out. Slide the feet, soles of the feet so that they're just flat on the ground. Sit up tall. And let's bring the right knee towards the right shoulder. Flex the foot. Bring the right arm inside the right leg. Press arm into leg, leg into arm. Arm into leg, leg into arm. Sit up tall. Maybe walk your left fingertips more behind you. Push into your left fingertips to sit up tall. Press arm into leg, leg and arm. Spread the fingers, spread the toes. Lower the right foot, right hand behind you. We're still friends. Sit up tall. Bend the left knee towards the left shoulder. Bring the left arm inside the left leg. Press arm into leg, leg into arm. Flex the foot, spread the toes. Reach back through the right fingertips. Push into your right fingertips to sit up tall. And press arm into leg and leg into arm. Belly breathing. Push through the right fingertips, arm into leg, leg into arm. Bless you. And then left foot down, left hand down. Shake it out. Bend the legs in. We'll try this. Hold your shins. Sit up tall. Reach forward, lift your butt up. Hold your shins. Sit up tall. So it depends how far you want to bring your feet in. Sit up tall against your shins. You could just practice being here and then transition yourself. But once you sit up tall, reach up and hoist forward. And hoist. And hoist. Fingertips to the lift your butt, parallel your feet. Little bend in the legs, hands to the hips. Come all the way up to standing and shake your legs out. And I just love deep hip opener practices. For the fruit of that practice makes me feel grounded and lighter at the same time. Let's take 2 blocks in the middle of the mat and a bolster in front and come to perch on your blocks. And if you notice that you so that the squats that we did, that's called Malasana, yogi squat. If you liked your feet kind of wide apart in that, you might play with taking the blocks a little wider. This time the heels can come up. So we're gonna take the heels a little in, toes a little out, bend the legs, and bring the elbows between the legs, and press the arms out and hug the legs in. And how low can you go? So fingertips can come to floor for more stability. The heels can lift up to lower the hips down. Heels lift up, hips lower. Here, this is a great place to be. Sort of furling inward. Can you get the outer arms more to the inner thighs? Really fold that deep into yourself. And then plant the hands. Claw your fingertips. Lean into your fingertips. And you'll start to feel, if you lean into your fingertips, the weight of the legs, the shins, comes more onto the arms. Can you feel that? You can just kind of rock with the breath here. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale, push through the arms, lift up. And then lean forward and maybe stay here and lift the kidneys up, lift the back of the waist up. Come onto your tippiest of tippy toes and draw your heels to your butt cheeks. And then squeeze the legs together. Try to bring the feet to touch for Bakasana. And then lower back down. How'd it go? Okay. So what else?
What's the rationale for doing code like this?
As opposed to,
On the ground.
Noses. I mean, I used to wish that I would land on my nose so that I'd have an excuse to get like a little work done. But I'd hate for that to happen in my class, so bolster is there as a preventative measure. The good news is, like, this is like not your tip, like, this is like quiet for a Sunday morning, but it was often the case that there was inevitably a doctor in a yoga class, especially in Philadelphia. Any doctors here? Like, might not want to own that in your yoga class if you're a doctor. It's like your time off, but yeah, I'm not like a big fan of causing injuries. That's called post-lineage yoga. Some of the yoga traditions were very much about injury as guru, pain as guru. Not here. Not here. So the alternative and like really great conditioning here, it's like even if you can do the pose, this is a great place to do conditioning to kind of get in here, lean forward, lift your butt up a little, and then just go heel to butt cheek and like tap, heel to butt cheek. 3 times, 5 times maybe on each side. Heel to butt cheek, heel to butt cheek. Can you see that? Heel to butt cheek. And then heel to butt cheek, heel to butt cheek. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the feet. Again, this is like humble warrior for me. Of all the arm balances, this is considered basic. 20 plus years into yoga, I still think it's the hardest. Still. But I think that like the key that unlocks a lot of the mystery behind the physical practice about this pose is that like a lot of times we think of arm balances as having to do with strength in the upper body. It's not the case. And you can sort of maneuver your way into this pose if you have a strong upper body, but it doesn't necessarily unlock the arm balances that come beyond this sort of basic, let it be known, super fucking hard arm balance, because the key to the arm balances is the openness in your hips. And opening the hips, opening these doors that are the hip joints, the hip sockets, gives us access to the legs. And the legs are the heaviest part of our body and the strongest part of the body. So if we can't access the full engagement of the legs because the hips aren't open enough, then the legs will weigh us down. But when we open up the hips and we can fully engage the legs, the strength of the legs will lift us up. Yeah?
Do you put your knees on your arms and your thighs?
So this is the difference between like Bakasana and Bekasana that I think is often confused. So there is a version where you put your knees on your arms and you're kind of stacking bone on bone and your butt will be the highest point. This is Bekasana, so you're going the legs. And then like the idea is that the back of your waist is like your kidney band. This will be the highest point. So more of a hip opener. And like nothing against the stacking bones on bones, because it's like a cool trick, but it's not necessarily like a key that's gonna open up access to other poses. Maybe like from there you could like push up into handstand, but if you're really strong from Bekasana, you could also push up. It's a deeper strength to push up from there. I'm not gonna demo that because I can't do that, but you can like definitely find the ones on the Instagram that can do that. Any other questions? So can we try it again with like heel to butt cheek taps for conditioning? And even if you can bypass that, I encourage you to still like do that conditioning. And then if you wanna go from there, it's like you end on a heel to butt cheek and you keep that. I'll talk you through and then we'll squeeze the other heel to the butt cheek and you might get some lift. And if you got the lift, then the second you get the lift, because you might shock yourself, so that's why I kind of wanna lay it out now. The second you get the lift, squeeze your legs together. Okay, like hug yourself with your legs. Okay, here we go. Find your perch. The heels can be lifted. Inside your legs. So we enfold to unfold. Plant the hands. Lean into your fingertips and try to puff up the kidney band. Think like bottom ribs towards the sky. Lean into your fingertips, come on to tippy toes, and we're gonna go right heel to right butt cheek, tap the right toes down, right heel to right butt cheek, tap the right toes down, right heel to right butt cheek, tap the right toes down, left heel to left butt cheek, tap down, left heel squeezes to left butt cheek, toes down, left heel squeezes to left butt cheek, right heel to right butt cheek, squeeze the legs together, bring the feet together, claw the fingertips, and yes, rest. How'd it go? Okay, sit on your blocks. Feet wide, toes turned out. So supported malasana, press your arms into your legs, hug your legs into your arms. Think pubic bone towards the floor, heart to the sky. Shoulders back. Press through the inner edges of the feet and the outer heels evenly. Belly breathing. Notice the rhythmic beating of your heart. Let it reverberate through every fiber of your being. Let the hips be heavy, the heart feel light. Release the hands. That's another good thing, just to mention going into Gemini season. Walk your hands behind you, plant your feet on either side of the bolster, draw the shoulders up and back. I always think of like, any Geminis in the room? I have a lot of beloved Geminis, like such a light-hearted time of year too. In a world that is so heartbreaking, just a reminder to like take time, make time for that which is light-hearted for you. Send through the feet, lift the hips up, claw the fingertips, reverse table, upward table. Then exhale, lower down. We're gonna put the bolster to the side, but keep it within hand's reach. Let's take this. And then sit up on just the edge of your blanket and find your strap. Manually widen your butt cheeks so that you feel more even between the two sides of your seat. We're gonna take the bolster between the legs and take your legs out 90 degrees, called Upavishta Konasana. Try to get the pubic bone right off the edge of the front of the blanket. So the pubic bone is rooting towards the floor rather than the blanket sort of lifting the pubic bone up. We're gonna take the bolster inside the right leg and take the strap across the ball of the right foot. Press the left heel down, and keeping the left heel down, press the top of the left thigh down. And then hold as close to the strap, as close to the foot on the strap as you can, keeping the shoulder blade towards the spine. So you're not out here, shoulder blade towards the spine. You can think like bicep curl. And then we'll bring the elbow to the bolster. And your right hand is gonna hold the big toe side of the strap, and your left hand will hold the little toe side of the strap. Pull on the strap. Can you feel that? Pull on the strap, press your left heel down, pull on the strap, and now open the left elbow up to the sky. Again, hands as close to the foot as you can reach. Both hands as close to your foot as you can reach. Pull on the strap and open the left elbow up and back. Turn your sternum, your breastbone towards the sky. Feed both sides of the strap into your bottom hand now and reach your left fingertips past your right toes. Ground through your left heel, ground through your pubic bone as you reach through the left fingertips. Belly breath, turn your left palm to the sky. Inhale, reach up and back. The back of the fridge. We are cleaning out the house of embodiment. We're going to take the strap across the ball of the left foot. We'll turn the bolster inside the left leg. Mindful of your right leg here grounding you. This is your primary root, is the leg that you're kind of away from, your back leg. And then again, left hand's going to hold as close to the foot as you can. Bend the elbow towards the bolster. Feed the big toe side of the strap into your left hand, and with your right hand, hold the little toe side of the strap as close to the foot as you can. So just be there first. And now pull on the strap, and then open the right elbow towards the sky. Inhale, pull on the strap. Exhale, open the right elbow to the sky. Inhale, pull on the strap. Exhale, ground through the right heel, knee, and thigh. Ground through the pubic bone, and turn your breastbone, your heart, towards the sky. Pull on the strap. Bend the elbows, pull on the strap. Feed both sides of the strap into your bottom hand, and reach your right fingertips way past your left toes. Pull on the strap, reach past your left toes, turn your heart up, turn your right palm up, and on the inhale, reach up and back. Whew. Strap to the side, bolster to the side. Bring your hands underneath your kneecaps and lift the knee pits up and shake it out. We're going to take a ball underneath the right calf. One ball underneath the right calf. You can lean back on your hands and gently roll from inseam to outseam. Outseam foot turns out, inseam foot turns in. Maybe scooch your butt back a little bit to roll towards the base of your calf. Flex the foot, point the foot. Circle the ankle the other way. Let the leg get heavy. If you're, of old lineage, sorry, that was a fucked up thing to say. And I shouldn't be saying these things live on YouTube, but if you're like really one for a little bit of ugh, cross your legs. Yeah, no, I like the no. I like a clear no, and then again, you can go from side to side a little. Like it just is so fascinating to me, the ways in which our bodies are designed to sort of hold and hide tension. And then, please also remember and remind yourself constantly that some tension is a good thing. It's literally what holds us together. And then it takes fluency to understand. Now, slide your butt forward so you're more to the top of the calf to discern what here is holding us back. What here can be released, let go of, so that we can feel simultaneously more grounded. So this is how we're programmed. We experience stress every single day, conscious, subconscious, unconscious, and every time there's a stress response, our brain sends stuff. It's a technical term for hormones, I guess, and biochemicals. Yeah, not enough science here. You can tell I'm a yoga teacher. But there is a program that sends from the brain to the calves, to the backs of the legs, to fight or flight. You feel that? Release the ball and feel, yeah. I could feel it in my teeth and feel the difference between the legs. This is why I wish every practice could be 3 or 4 hours, because then we could do myofascial release and breath work in addition to all the stuff that you think you're here for. Let's just start in the belly of the calf, somewhere in the middle, second side. Now this can also be wildly different from side to side, especially if there's any history of knee injury. The scar tissue on a side of your body that has had a knee injury or knee surgery, this scar tissue seems unbelievable. So just notice what you feel what you notice. This is a great every day or multiple times a week on your own at home. And in fact, one of my goals for this clean out cycle is to go through our massage balls and clean out all the old balls and refresh our tune-up or yoga tune-up basket. So maybe we'll make a basket of like old balls, and if anyone wants them, we'll just have like a take some balls basket downstairs.
I brought my mom to Anisha's like rolling class, and she bought them on the way home.
Yeah, and they're so inexpensive. I think like new, they're less than $10. But they do wear out. But when they wear out, they're great for like more tender area, not wear out, but when you wear them in, they're great for more tender areas of your body. When they're new, it can be really brutal. So it's nice to get like a worn-in pair, like vintage Levi's. We'll have a basket of vintage yoga tune-up balls, well worn. Okay, now you're gonna scooch your butt back or just manually adjust so that you're a little lower down. And you can point the foot and flex the foot. You can also do that in the middle, but again, it's like glutton for punishment. And circle. And then if it feels appropriate, cross the legs. And you're really trying to press your heel towards the floor, especially if you can hyperextend in the knee. Make sure, like the tendency will be for the knee to drop. Try to press the heel towards the floor. Can you feel that? That's different. And with or without the cross of the legs, just inseam to outseam. Oi. And then scooch your coolie forward, so term for butt. And we'll go more to the top of the calf. And breathe. So you gotta be really careful with this. It can backfire if you work too intensely. You can actually stimulate a stress response. So you wanna work like right up to the edge of what is really bearable and tolerable so as to not stimulate a stress response. And the key to measure that is your breath. The breath should be able to be deep and smooth and full and deep. Then maybe slide down. Yum. Okay, 2 options here. Shavasana, final relaxation in the style of you as you know that you like it. Alternatively, a guided restorative sequence, which will take 1 block high, 1 block low. Bolster propped over those blocks, and we'll start with the left hip right at the center of the bolster and some blanket padding between the legs. The legs are just set up in whatever way feels comfortable for you. And then we're gonna twist the navel towards the bolster, walk your hands out, and if it's left hip in front of the bolster, you start with left cheek on the bolster. I'll invite you to see what it feels like to turn the opposite cheek. And if it feels good for you, you can be there, and if not, you'll come back. I'll talk you through switching to the other side, and then I'll talk you through bringing your back here for a supported Shavasana. Okay, otherwise, you do you. Spread yourself out on the altar of the earth, again, in the way that suits you. Melissa, would you mind bringing me a cork block? I'm just gonna lose the music. So make any adjustments you need to make yourself as comfortable as humanly possible. Thank you very much. And here's the key with the restorative, is with each exhalation, consciously, sort of internally, verbally, give yourself permission to release into the support of your props. Each exhale, give yourself permission to release into the support of this practice, your practice. Each exhalation, giving yourself permission to release into the support of the earth, the unconditional support of gravity where we are all connected. Maybe that left cheek is feeling softer. Can stay here, or gently press through the fingertips to lift up and turn your right cheek to the bolster. couple of breaths just to discern if this is somewhere you want to be and stay or to return to the left cheek. Again, coming back to the breath. Each exhale, giving yourself permission to release. Into the unconditional support of gravity. Giving yourself permission to feel held and supported in and by something greater than just yourself. One more breath here. And then keeping the eyes heavy. So if you need to let in a little light to guide yourself, just sort of slit open the eyes, but let the eyes stay really heavy. Slide your fingertips back, push into your hands to lift yourself up, and you're just going to carefully turn your back to the bolster, your butt to the bolster, and bring the right hip in front of the bolster. Rest the blanket over your bottom leg. Rest your left leg over your bottom leg. In any orientation that just feels relaxed and comfortable, turn towards the bolster, palms frame the bolster, and you walk your hands out. Your navel towards the bolster, the heart towards the bolster, the forearms, elbows come towards the earth, right cheek to the bolster. Let the legs be heavy, let the hips settle into the earth, and let the upper body release into the support of the props, the practice, the earth itself. Belly breathing through the nose. And as you mindfully breathe, inhales, expand the center. Exhales, soften and contract to the center. With each exhale, give yourself permission to release, to soften, to settle more deeply into some greater support. And when you're ready, gently walk your hands back, push into your palms to lift up, and turn your other cheek to the bolster. Give yourself the time needed to discern whether this feels appropriate for you, and adjust as needed. And as you become more receptive to, more sensitive to the support that you have, allow yourself to feel and be heavy, to sort of give in to the heaviness. And truly, the more we give in to the heaviness, the lighter, bless you, we become. Push into your arms to lift yourself up. You can bring the back of your seat to the bolster. Put your blanket across your thighs and sort of guide your spine, your head onto the bolster. Pause here. The knees can be bent at first and just see if this feels okay on your back. I like the bolster right up against the sacrum. But if that doesn't suit you, you might actually scooch your hips more towards your heels so that the bolster, the end of the bolster, hits a little higher up the back. And then you can release the arms down to the sides, palms down for a more grounding effect. You can turn your palms up for a gesture of receptivity. You can keep the legs bent, feet on the floor, or extend the legs out long and let the feet roll open. And just let the blanket help to ground the tops of the thighs. Allow the eyes to soften and close. And with each consecutive exhalation, give yourself permission to let go of any last remaining bits of effort. Give yourself permission to let go of any last remaining bits of tension, conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. Give yourself the permission to let it all go. To let yourself be held. And to let the body be breathed. Let the breath be uninhibited as it flows in you, as you, through you, and from you. Let the breath be uninhibited as it flows in you, as you, through you, and from you. Invite a deeper breath in, a longer breath out. The eyes still closed, a steady gaze inward. As the breath deepens you, this awareness inward. Let the spirit that you are begin to gently awaken you from inside out. Wiggling the toes and fingers, stretching through the arms and the legs. You can turn your palms to the ground, call yourself down to earth. And when you're ready, bend the legs and feel both feet on the ground. And gently call yourself back to reality. As the spirit that you are awakens the body that you have, take a moment to allow the body that you have to really embrace and adorn the spirit that you are. Literally wrapping yourself around yourself in and as this gift of embodiment. Carefully, you can shift your hips a little bit to the left and then gently roll to the right on the support of your props. And press through your arms to lift yourself up into a comfortable seated posture. In other words, just transitioning into a comfortable seat in your own time, in your own way. And once you get there, the eyes can remain softly open or softly closed with the hands together before the heart. An Anjali Mudra, a final gesture of sincere self-reverence that acknowledges the voice of the true teacher, the source of supreme love and divine wisdom, never further than the heart, which is never further than the breath, in a gesture that consciously and courageously places this aspect of ourselves before us as both a guide and an offering in all we do. In so doing, bringing more love, more virtuosity to those in the world around us. Let's seal in our time together. Let's invoke blessings for ourselves and each other. And let's send the voices of our hearts out into the world to everywhere you know it is most needed, as far and as wide as you can possibly imagine, in the form of a final Om. And as always, feel free to join in the sound or let it wash over you. Invite a deep breath in. As you bow to your heart, with all my heart, I bow to every one of you. Thank you so much for your practice and your presence, and for all that you are and all that you do every single day of this life. Thank you so much. Thanks, y'all. If you're around this weekend, join us on Friday night. If you're away, safe travels. Happy unofficial start to summer as ushered in by Gemini season. And looking forward to the next season.
Thank you.
Thank you.